Greetings, friends. It's your man Sa, back at you with another video discussing Samadhi, the eighth and final stage, the eighth limb of yoga. Samadhi is the apex of the journey of the yogi. It is translated from the Sanskrit as bringing together, togetherness, or unification of the mind, also known as total self-collectedness, being able to transform one's reality, self-realize oneself to achieve a state of transcendence, a unification with the spirit of the universe, a divine consciousness, divine awareness that transcends this earthly realm. It is a state that many yogis aspire to achieve, aspire to experience. It is something that can be experienced before death, before leaving this physical realm, or after. It is a ascension, if you will. An ascension can happen while one is on earth. We have seen throughout the course of history great sages, prophets, manifestations of God, wise men and women who have achieved this state of enlightenment. And many people consider enlightenment and samadhi to be synonymous. And there are some of us who consider it a means to an end, that samadhi is the path that leads one to enlightenment. And this is observed by many people. And clearly, it being the eighth limb illustrates that this system of yoga, the 7 previous limbs of yoga which we have discussed, going from the yamas, the ethical precepts, the inner values, niyamas, to asana, physical postures, to pranayama, the breath work, distribution of the breath, to the withdrawal of the senses, pratyahara, the 5th limb, to dharana, concentration, the 6th limb and the 7th limb of dhyana, meditation. Clearly a blueprint, a path to achieve this goal of complete unification of the spirit of the universe. Divine consciousness, supreme consciousness. And as I was saying before, those of us throughout history who were able to achieve this seamlessly with little or no effort, because they had a mastery or understanding of perhaps the first 2 limbs. And they were able to transcend all of that, all this in between, all the limbs that exist between the 1st and the 2 and to the 8th samadhi, and realize the state of being without having to go through the work of all that was in between. But however, it's still a blueprint. It's still something, as the system of yoga has provided, for any practitioner to guide themselves and go through the journey of achieving this great aspiration of being, complete unification, complete oneness with the universe, samadhi. So it's like having a map to a destination, and perhaps having the ability, and some of us have illustrated this, having the ability to see the grand scheme, the big picture and find the destination or get to the destination perhaps faster or slower, depending on our circumstances, depending on where we're at, depending on how much we desire for ourselves to get to that destination. So it is a state of being, a state of oneness, a state of consciousness, something that we must be willing and able to do. We must have an aspiration and desire to get to. How badly, how much do we want to achieve this or be in this state? And perhaps it could be something we can just stumble upon in some way through our gleanings of our everyday life, through perhaps contemplative prayer, which my good friend Mark C. Still talks about powerfully in his videos, his YouTube videos, and which he, at one point in his life, in the midst of nature, in the beauty of nature, experienced this oneness with the universe, however brief the moment may have been. So the experience is different for all of us. But like I said before, it's something that we must desire, aspire for, aspire to. So, that is Samadhi. We can go on and on about it and talk about it in different ways and forms. But it is a journey worth traveling, particularly if the desire is there, the willingness is there, the drive is there. So thank you for listening to this video. We'll be discussing more about the system of yoga and the pathways to Samadhi in future videos. And if you like this video, please press the like button, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next video. And as always, good friends, fellow yogis, yoginis, and dear friends, searchers of truth, seekers of truth, I bid you prosperity, peace, tranquility, longevity, and vitality. Always